Okay, hello, my friends. I hope you are doing well. It's always a pleasure to meet you on this platform, these sessions. Just as some of you got used to these live sessions, me too, I feel that there is something missing if there is this, if no such encounter is scheduled on this platform. So thank you very much for all the support that the channel is getting from you. Thank you also for the good words that you have put or that you put in my favor. The channel seems to be growing in different, and it has reached different parts of the country. Just yesterday, I got really surprised that many of my colleagues at Monosyllabic University and from other universities as well were talking about the fact that the students, some students, or many students, let me say, keep talking about it, and many colleagues as well. This is really interesting. This is very encouraging for further, preparation of further content. Let me just read your comments, waiting for our friends to join us. This live session is specifically, it was at the request. It's not. It was a suggestion, in fact, because there were so many. I received private messages from students at one of the universities asking me to hold a live session to talk about spoken English in general. And I saw that one of the points of difficulty that these students, the points, that are hurdles, that form a hurdle for these students, is the understanding of word stress in English. As you can see, the channel is responsive to any request made by 2 or 3 people. That's the norm. So if I receive questions or requests for a given topic by 3, 4 people, then I give it priority. This is what I told you before. Anyway, thank you very much for the trust you continue to put in this channel. Nathalie Leblanc, good evening. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Nathalie. Thank you for being a faithful and courageous, fan. You see, you do not just watch, but you participate and you show that you are an active participant in the discussions, and this is all the more fruitful. I am equally grateful to see Mustafa Morshid, who is always here with us to exchange ideas and to probably ask questions and answer them and help, answer them. This is nice because Mustafa sometimes, when I answer a question, he provides suggestions and he probably takes the discussion into different directions. This is a very interesting thing. Thank you very much, Mustafa. Hiba Hinawi, hello. I wish you're doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you, Hiba. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well too. Asma Tuhan, salam alaikum. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Asma, barakallahu feek. Thank you very much. Ustad Hana Muhammadi, good evening, Professor. How is it going? It's going very well, Ustad Hana. I hope you're doing well where you are, and I hope that that it's not as cold as is France usually at this time of the year. Usually it's -5, which is not the case here. So we hope that it will rain. That's what we are hoping for in our beloved country. I hope that that we will have enough rainfall to make the agricultural year successful, inshallah, and to make, so that water will be abundant. Okay, Fatima, hello. Fatima and Amina Asdod. Hello, Amina. I hope you are doing well. Sada Samia, hello. Hello, Sada Zineb. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, everyone. Si Muhammad Boysan, Manzakina Si Muhammad. I hope you are doing well. Doing well. Thank you very much. Chernobyl is here. Hello, Professor Bruce. I hope life treats you well. For the moment, it does. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much, see Chernobyl. I hope you are doing well too. Asma, hello. And then Abdulaziz. Let's see Abdulaziz, my dear friend and former classmate and now colleague. And I hope you are doing well, Si Abdulaziz. Thank you very much for joining this live session. Thank you. Ridwan Al-Ghandour, hello Sir Ridwan, I hope you are doing well. Thank you very much. Okay, we have Latinia Maritas. Hello, sir. You're doing a good job. Thank you very much, Alinia. Thank you. I'm really happy to hear this from you and from so many friends here. Thank you very much. Abdullah Bilamin has deleted the message as well as Adil Abbasi. Faiza, أنا مش كده فايزة مليح. Hello, Professor Nordin. I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, Faiza. Doing well, thank you. Barakallahu fik. Si Uthman Ulakhouch. Azul Si Uthman. Should I say Mehternit or Menzakin, depending on where you live. So I hope you are doing well, Si Uthman. Thank you very much for joining. Adil Abbasi, hello. My professor, I want to ask how much time does it need to learn spoken English because you was very busy with the work. See, Adil, I don't know. I can't get your point. Because you were busy or I was busy, because I did not. I have not taught spoken English for ages now, for a couple of years, I think. No, because I was busy. You mean here, or yeah, because I was busy with syntax, because I was giving lectures on syntax, because the requests at that time were requests for syntax. But spoken English, I can still, if Adil Abbasi, and if you have friends, I need just 3 messages in the private, and tomorrow I have no problem. I can provide you with a live session. Probably what I think is students find difficult, given my experience with them. I've taught spoken English for a number of years. The students have problems with phonetics, with the description of consonants and vowels, and they have problems with, what we are going to do today. It's the determining of word stress in English based on a number of rules. So Adil, I would love to see messages sent to my inbox so that I can schedule a session for tomorrow. I have no problem whatsoever. Thank you. Okay. Atimad, Shaqub, hello, said Atimad. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting better after this sad event. Thank you very much. Si Abdul Amin, hello. I hope you're doing well. And Si Ali, Mr. Ali Bilmusa. Is it Bilmusa or Bu Musa? Okay, Si Ali, because I have a friend, a former colleague, and who goes by almost the same name. So, Si Ali, thank you very much for joining us. Barakallahu feek. Techno, Mr. Techno, hi. Techno, Mr. Techno, dear professor. Hi, dear professor. Thank you very much. LKM, good evening. Adil Abbasi, good evening. Si Adil. Okay, so you mean I was busy, not you. Yeah, you were busy. Yeah, there is still a way of atoning for this mistake of not revising on time. It just needs some effort. So I repeat this to you, Si Adil, and to your friends. If you would like me to go over consonants and vowels and their descriptions in a straightforward way, I can do that tomorrow. Please make sure I will not do that until I receive messages in the private. This or any other topic I can handle. Okay, Anwar, salam alaikum. Everyone, please, the professor from University of Marrakesh. Everyone, please, the professor from University of Marrakesh. Are you looking for a professor from the university? I'm not. I don't belong to Marrakesh if the question is about me. Thank you, Si Anwar. Anas, yes, we need that session. So I need it in the private message, please, so that I can be clear on this. Here, I may not remember. There might be other requests. Yak, Si Anax. Okay, good. Medo Ben, hello, dear professor. What am I going to say is thank you so much for your effort. Barakallahu fik, Medo Ben. Thank you. I'm really glad I hear these things from you. Sir, I have a question. Are you there? Are there any tricks or tips that we can follow for complicated words to transcribe? Complicated words to transcribe. No, the trick is that to pronounce it slowly and you see, and see whether a vowel is stressed or not, because sometimes what happens is that, for example, a normal vowel, which is like, for example, O or A, like this, it can, or O, okay, or O, can easily reduce to this, to ashwa or ashva. So we say, alone. We never produce a word like alone. I live alone. So this gets this. So you have four. It's a O. The question is, what are you looking for What are you looking for? The answer is I'm looking for my keys. It's not for. Why? Because for is not stressed in the answer. In the question, it is stressed because we leave for until the end. What are you looking for? I'm looking for my keys, for my keys. So you really need to pay attention to things like these, the vowel reduction process. Sometimes there are full vowels that reduce to a shva, to a weak vowel. Okay, Fatim Zara saying yes, please. Perhaps Fatim Zara is alluding to the fact that live session needs to be held. Again, I say you are welcome. All of you are welcome. I can do this without any problems, but this is contingent on you sending me private messages. You can do it now so that I can find the message there, and I will I will hold a live session tomorrow. Okay? You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Are there any preliminary questions before we proceed with this activity today? Or do you think that we should go straight to the point? Techno, Mr. Techno, we need a live about general communication, verbal and non-verbal communication, including cues, and that stuff, please. If you can, dear professor, again, message. How can we send you a message? Go to the private as if you're sending it on my Facebook page, Mr. Adil, because I have a Facebook page by the name of your academic companion, Dr. Amrus. Go there and send me a private message. But before, I would suggest that you hit the follow button so that you can follow me there. Private message where? In your academic companion. There is a Facebook page. Let me paste it here. Let me paste your academic companion here. Okay. Yeah. That's it. I'll copy the link or just the URL and it will lead you here. Okay, just go for this. Okay, your academic companion. Yeah. Please, someone has the place of articulation of the sounds. If you would like me to talk about this tomorrow, I can do it, Anwar, without any problem. I will explain it to you very well without problems. So this is the link to my Facebook page, Your Academic Companion, Dr. Amrus. You go, you open the link, you hit the follow button and the like, and then you send me a private message. On occasions, I post there, but this time, these 2 or 3 months, I'm focusing on YouTube. Okay, but Facebook will also be, will also involve videos. Sir, I want to know what is the difference in sounds for the words that end in the transcription with a shva and others that are not. I don't have any example in mind for now, but I am confused about it. Thank you, Adil Abbasi. Thank you, Anwar. So Altinia is asking, at the end in the transcription with a shva and others that do not. So look, the question is very easy. The answer to this question, because if you can, just in the pronunciation of a word, if you can, if you pronounce the last word or the last vowel of the word as a full vowel, like you say a or o, then automatically the transcription is a or o. It is written as a shva, that is this that is doing gymnastics. It's when you pronounce it as not o or a or e, because different vowels can reduce to the shva vowel. For example, when you say formula, look at this. You have a formula. Do you pronounce this as a formula? Do you pronounce this as a formulae or just a formula? The there we have a feeling that it's an sound. Let me check. This is the example that has just come to mind. Okay, so because we pronounce it with a schwa, so it needs to reduce the vowel. It means that the vowel is reduced. So the vowel, the vowel a is not a full vowel, and then therefore you should not write it as a, because the pronunciation is not a. Okay. Same thing for examples where you have the American. Okay, Natalie, you are doing a great job because you are China and Canada, for example. These are very good examples. You see, China, it's never China. China. Canada is not Canada. It's Canada. And so China, it's not China. All right. So you have a word like China, like this. You have an here. You will see that it's an but unfortunately, you don't say China. I will travel to China. I will travel to China. China. Okay. So this is reduced to a schwa. So this is how you produce, how you write this in IPA, in phonetics. The same thing for Canada. 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 It's not Canada. It's not I will travel to Canada. I will travel to Canada. Canada. So this here again is a schwa because we pronounce it as the United States of America. It's not of America, of America. You know, some people would produce this, the United States of America. No, it's the United States of. It's not of, because the United States of America. So whenever you produce a schwa, it means whenever you produce a vowel which is written in one way, but you pronounce it in a very weak one, in a very weak way, like a becoming Canada, Canada, America, America, China, China, etc. Formula, etc. Then we have a reduced vowel here. So the schwa is the way. So the transcription is by means of a schwa. Okay, thank you, Natalie. You have helped me a lot with this example. Okay, right, nice. So Altinia says, for example, station. Yes, here the letter is no schwa in the end before the last. However, other that end with a schwa. Yes. So because in station it's dubious. Because station you have sh and then n. Maybe there is no schwa here. We cannot talk about schwa. But then you have other. Yes, because look, I have for word final vowel reduction. This is very in British English especially, and also in American English. Rather okay. For example, what happens is that when you have an R sound at the end of the syllable, like the word never, okay, never, you have a R sound. Usually in British English, the R deletes. So what we have is a schwa. The vowel is reduced. It's never, the, and okay, rather, never, etc. So you have this, Bazos says the topic is, as is mentioned in the title, our topic for today is stress assignment, word stress rules in English, and then we will maybe discuss the different other topics. I have had some in the inbox. Okay, nice. So, Professor, I will not be able to read that journal article, that message you have sent. Could you tell us what grammaticality comes from the presence of two complements while this is translated? Zakaria, I'm afraid I did not get the point here. Wait a minute. I will not be able to read that journal article, that message you have sent. Okay. You thought that grammatic comes from the presence of two complements while red is transitive. Yes, read is transitive, of course. Here, I'm sorry, my friends, I have broken this, in favor of another question, but, this is just the beginning. We have not started yet. Just be patient, and if you would like to follow us while we discuss these, different topics, that will be good. Otherwise, please share the link to this video and hit the like button so that this live session will reach many people. Now, let me just answer Zakaria and then come back, please. Can it? Okay, so I told you that. So there is this sentence: I will not be able to read that journal article, that message. Of course, this is a sentence that is incorrect. It's ungrammatical. Why? How can we account for the ungrammaticality of this? A very straightforward argument is that we have two complements here. We have a transitive verb, and transitive verbs generally select one and only one noun phrase, which functions as its complement. But here what we have is read, to read that journal article, that message. Impossible. So that's one way of accounting for it. Can it be a violation of case filter? Because message is not a signed case. If we omit the sentence, will become grammatical. Okay, wait a minute. I will not be able to read that journal article, that message you have sent. No, I don't think that there is anything that incurs case filter. No, I think case filter is well satisfied here, but the only thing that is not satisfied is the fact that we have a violation of the complement rule, which is not supposed to be recursive. That's the thing. Okay, Natalie, okay, so what is the topic, please? I told you that today we generally have one part of the session for different discussions called miscellaneous. Whoever has a question in any field that I can answer, in any field relating to the student, to linguistics and research, that I can answer. Of course, I cannot answer all the questions because I'm not an encyclopedia. All right, so we have this, but we also have the other part where we discuss, the main topic of the day. And the main topic of today is word stress assignment in English, because some S1 students, requested me to do that. Okay. So Mustafa Murshid above, that's a very good example. Nathalie Leblanc says teacher. That's true, because teacher, the ER of teacher, the word teacher involves the deletion of the final R. It's deleted, especially in British English. And the consequence of this is that the whole ER turns into a schwa. So teacher, and like this. Okay, nice. Writer, same thing. Mr. Radwan, thank you very much. Mustafa says above. It's never above. It's not above. It's above. Generally, let me tell you the story of this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why? The question is, why do we have a situation in which we sometimes have a full vowel? Sometimes that full vowel becomes a schwa. It reduces to this. Why? There is just one explanation. It's the absence of stress. We will see it today. Okay? It loses stress. When a full vowel loses stress, what does it do? It becomes like this. It shrinks. Okay? So the absence of stress, because when it has stress, it becomes, it shows its muscles. When stress goes, it shrinks. That's the thing. Okay, we will come to this later on, inshallah. Okay, so Saeed, the models should and could have a schwa internally. That is the reason why they are called weak forms. Yeah, especially look at this. Saeed. Saeed, sorry, there is a comment by Saeed here. The models should and could. This will depend, because should weak forms are weak forms only when they are inside the sentence. For example, when you say I don't need to go to the doctor, I say you should. The way I pronounce should here and could is not like when I say to you, you should go to the doctor. You should go to the doctor. You see? So again, here this will depend on like will. She will not travel. No, she will. Here, it's not a schwa. But when I say in a normal sentence without showing any emotions, any state of, any mood, any specific mood, say she will travel. She will travel. It's not she will travel. Okay, so we have to be careful when it comes to these weak forms. If the teacher presents them to you in a sentence, then you have to make sure that if it's in the middle of the sentence, usually it's with a reduced vowel. If it's in a question, for example, and the word, this word is at the at the end of the question, it means that it's likely to be pronounced in its normal form. Okay, like will, it's not will, it's she will. Okay, yeah, for example, you say she will not travel, she will, but she will travel. You should, but you should go to the doctor. Okay, nice. Okay, thank you, Sumia. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lalechtik Sumia. You've done a great job in sharing the link and in suggesting that your friends join. Thank you so much once again. Really kind of you. Zakaria, message is not a signed case. That message is not a signed case. It's not assigned one way. If you want to talk about message here, because it's the second NP, one assumption is that transitive verbs assign accusative case to the following NP, and therefore one's case is assigned to one NP, it is not assigned to another. That's one analysis. Okay, but the other thing is that the counter argument is that probably we have verbs that can assign two cases. For example, diatransitive verbs. You see, it assigns oblique case and accusative case. So I'm afraid the case argument here may not be that tenable. The more straightforward way, because we are comparing two approaches, the more straightforward approach, or the most straightforward way of accounting for the ungrammaticality of that sentence is to say, well, we have a double complement. As simple as this. We should not go, complicate life. You can, when you have this question, account for the ungrammatical, just provide one single argument, and that's all. Otherwise, if you say it's a violation of case filter, then what case should it have that it does not have now? And what is it that should assign to it nominative or accusative or oblique case? Okay, nice. So I'm expecting a reaction from Zakaria if there is one. I will not be able to read that journal article that you have sent is grammatical. I will not be able to read that journal article that you have sent. Okay, but here we have that having two types of that. To read, okay, that in the first one, that journal article is a demonstrative. And that you have sent there is a relative pronoun. But when you say, I will not be able to read that journal article, that message, here, no. The reason is that, as I said, you have two complements. So if you delete that message, yes, of course, as you said, see Zakaria there, you are right. That's perfectly grammatical like that, with case assignment being appropriate and in satisfaction of case filter. Okay, nice. Yeah, it loses stress. That's true due to some phonological processes. I fully agree with you. It becomes weak now. There is this coming back to phonology after we have discussed. This is what makes these discussions interesting. They may not feel or they may not appear organized at the beginning, but it's good. Different students asking different questions, to which I attempt to provide an answer. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, Sirabia Al-Fadil. Fina was Sirabia. I think we have. We have a wealth of comments here. So please, patience, my friends. We are going to start this in a moment. Just to answer some of the questions here, Sirabia says, hello, sir. Hope you're doing well. Please, I have a question. How subject auxiliary inversion English is accounted for in generative syntax? What is the argument supporting this? Yes, Sirabia El-Fadil, for auxiliary inversion, this is a term that is used in grammar classes, maybe grammar 3, grammar 2, yes. A linguistic way of accounting, the syntactic way of talking about it is to talk about inflection to complementizer movement or tends to see movement. It's head-to-head movement, okay? So here, the situation is that we have a complementizer, and you know that complementizers in the syntax of languages, complementizers are the elements that drive syntactic activity, okay? This is the one that presides over other functional categories like info, tense, aspect, etc. okay, and agreement. Not only does it reveal information, or does it select, let me say it this way, not only does the complementizer, that is to say the C0, not only does C0 select a finite or an infinite clause depending on the features that it has. For example, if C0 has plus 10 plus finite, it means that the next clause we have a finite verb plus tense plus agreement. Otherwise, it's minus tense plus agreement. But it also has this feature of plus or minus WH, depending on whether we have a sentence in the interrogative or in the declarative form. So how to account for it is to say that C0 has the feature of plus WH, which attracts other features that fall on the auxiliary or the tense or agreement. Tense and agreement, that is to say, so you have the C0 node with plus WH, and a few branches later, you have I0, sometimes it's called T0, depending on the school. And then, it attracts it. Why? Because here you have plus tense plus agreement. These are features of agreement, features of tense. They need to be expressed, okay, as, they need to merge somehow with this plus WH feature, because the sentence is what? The sentence is interrogative. What is the solution? Because plus WH is a strong feature, okay? The complement, why, for example, wait a minute. Why is it that C0, it's not C0 that should move to I0, to the inflection node? Two reasons at least. Number one, movements are leftward. They are never like this. They are upward and leftward. That's number one. Number two, it is the complementizer that is more powerful than infil, because the complementizer is the one that selects infil, not vice versa. And therefore, if there is any movement, it's this poor infil that has to move to the rich, okay, plus C0 to pick up those features. Of course, features in themselves do not move. They have to be put somehow in a lexical item, in a word, grammatical, item. So if we don't have an auxiliary, so you should go, it's should you go. It's the should there that falls, that is generated under I0, that has to undergo movement to plus WH to the C0 node. In the absence of the auxiliary, features themselves cannot move. That's why English has created this default auxiliary. It's the do insertion. For example, I go to school every morning. The question is not go you to school. No, it's do you go to school? Even if we don't have initially an auxiliary, the language makes use of the verb to do, l'auxiliaire par défaut, the default auxiliary, in order to pick up tense, agreement, aspect, and everything that follow the verb, but they are there in that category. So the do, auxiliary, the auxiliary do bears or carries those features to take them to the C0 node. Now, what is the argument? Very simply, the argument is that, apart from the explanation, because the explanation sometimes can be an argument, one syntactic argument is that you can never have auxiliary inversion, subject auxiliary inversion, with another auxiliary. For example, you cannot say, do you should read books? Will you should travel? Why? It's because the auxiliary will in will you has moved from the I0 node. So when you say something like will you should go, you are inserting should in a place which is already filled. So we talk about the trace here, because it's when an element moves from I0 or from any other category, it leaves a trace there. A trace means what? Trace means that there is no other element that can come and fill that position. So should you travel? Yes. Should you will travel? No. داكشي علاش ما كنقولوش do you will travel. It's will you travel, because do you will travel means what? Means do in do you will travel it's taken from the place where you insert will. So you cannot have I0 with two elements. Okay, nice. So I hope I have made this clear, Sirabia. If you feel that I have not, or if you have a follow-up to this question, I would love to read what you have written. Okay, Fidwa Rosie says, sorry teacher, I was late for your live. Can you please tell me if there is a possibility to watch it again? Yeah, of course. You know, you just come to the channel and you know, you go and you watch the videos. If you cannot find them in videos, then you can find them in live, the rubric live, where you have other lives, of course, if you would like to read that. My dear friends, if you have not hit the like button yet, please do so right now. And if you have not subscribed, please do so again right now. Subscribe. You know, so many friends here are followers, but they are not subscribers. They are followers means that they like what we do and they interact, and they watch, but they have not been able to subscribe. These things are needed for the channel to thrive, hopefully, you know. Okay, especially given that because what I hear about this channel from my colleagues, does not correspond to the number of subscribers I have. It's a very poor channel, a very, you know, it's an embryonic channel, but people talk about it as though it were, you know, very, you know, very rich in terms of its follower count. So please help by you know, hitting the follow button. Aisha Bubrik says, can you teach us the difference between the strong form and the weak form? Of course, I can do that, you know, but yeah, Aisha and the friend here, you know, stress assignment is so much connected, okay, to what we call weak forms. Okay, so we'll be talking about all these things, inshallah. Okay, so after I have, because I have prepared a lesson for you to understand first when stress is assigned to a part of a word, and but before that we need to talk about syllable, you know, because you need to know what a syllable is. You need to know the type of syllables, you know, ultimate, penultimate, and anti-penultimate. I don't know if you did that because I believe that most of you are the ones who are interested here. I guess you are from the University of Qadi'iyat. Okay, so I guess you did that. So this is what we are going to do today. Of course, and then we'll move to the discussion of weak forms, which is very easy anyway. Okay, nice, Aisha. You know, I have answered you. Natalie, it depends on the intonation. Yes, of course. You know, forms depend on the way you, on the speech chain. Sometimes there are words that stress, depending also on the state of, depending also on our mood. You know, sometimes when you are angry, you want to stress something, or you are excited to maybe to talk about a topic, and then you leave it until the end, you focus it, or you put at the beginning, you put stress on it. For example, your brother will come. What's the difference? Look at this. Look at how many meanings I will have in this. Your brother will come tomorrow. Now, if I stress your brother, just the word your brother will come tomorrow, it means that maybe there is someone who told me, no, his brother will come tomorrow. No, say, no, your brother will come tomorrow. Second case, your brother will come tomorrow. I stress the word brother. Your brother will come tomorrow. For example, not your sister, not your cousin. Okay? Your brother will come tomorrow. For example, you say, my brother came yesterday. No, your brother will come tomorrow. See? Look at this. When you stress the word come, your brother will come tomorrow means what? Means that you probably say that my brother will stay at home tomorrow. And when you stress tomorrow, your brother will come tomorrow. You see, here tomorrow, you know, you highlight the word, meaning that not today, for example, or after tomorrow, next week. Okay, nice. Persian. Persian. No, Persian is not like that, Shayma. Persian, it's something like this. Persian. So you have something like this. Who is here? Yeah. That's Shayna. So you have this, yes, her. Okay. And then you have this. Why do we have this here? This R means that if you speak American English, you don't need the brackets. The R is there. If you speak British English, like this. So if it's British English, you don't need to put this R between brackets at all, even for never. And okay, and then Jen is like this. Persian. Okay. So you don't need this R. This is what I told you before. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do this time. Look at this. The A of Persian, the A of Persian, is it pronounced when you say لأن أنت كتبتيها بأ كتبتي هنايا avant le N? Do we pronounce it? No. What you have written is something like Persian. We don't say Persian, it's Persian. You see, no A. So it's written there, but it's not. It does not show in the pronunciation. Okay. Okay. Hope says the transcription. I'd like to ask if we made a mistake in one vowel, doesn't change. I mean, if we put E instead of a schwa or an E, does it count? Look, Hope, everyone makes mistakes in transcription, even at doctoral levels. I'm not encouraging mistakes here, but I'm just talking about the fact. So relax. These things can be learned over time. But please, if you intend to be a teacher one day, for example, you need to know these things, because you will have to ask to teach them to your students so that they can make distinctions, between different forms. Well, again, you ask me whether it counts or not. Of course, if your teacher would like you to transcribe a word, and he is targeting or she is targeting that specific point and to become a shva, if you make a mistake, it will be counted a mistake. But probably, perhaps, sometimes when the question is about weak forms and strong forms, and you make a mistake about another vowel that is not, but you have these strong forms the right way, you write them the right way, probably the teacher can be understanding when it comes to these things. All right? Okay. Altinia Maritas, for the transcription of the word above, how the upside down V, which is like this, yes, sound. I want examples, but cut, as well as long vowels in the word like girl. Can you pronounce them? Yes. Look, you have a word like above. It's not above, it's not above, it's a it's a central vowel. It's like the word cut, you say that. So, okay, let's take this word here. There are two lessons that we learned just from this. The first lesson is what? It's the fact that I have here a, and I have here o, which is an o. See, it's o. Now, if there is no vowel reduction, if we pronounce like we're right, then of course this will be above. And if any one of you students here says above, people will laugh at you. Yes or no? Above, we don't speak like that, And so here, this one here, because stress falls here, it's this part of the word that you put stress on. Say above. So it's as if the word is just this. This one, it's like it's ignored a little bit. It's just we pronounce it very slightly because we just want to tell the world that it's there. That's all. But we don't focus on it. What's the consequence? The consequence is that because stress is here on this part, this one shrinks. It reduces to a shva. above. See the picture above. See the picture above. Above. Oh, it's an E. Like le E ديال الفرنسية في la fenêtre. ولا في l'article le. هذه it's a شبه. Fenêtre, it's not fenêtre, it's not, it's fenêtre. It's like this. The E, above. Okay? So this is above. Here, the O here is, of course, pronounced as an O. It's O, not A, because A is a low vowel. It's not O. O is a high, is a mid-high back vowel. So it's just like this. We have some words, as you said, like the word cut, cut. It's not cat. Otherwise, you know what a cat is. And we have some Sumia here who is a fan of cats. Okay. So it's not, so here, it's not, this one here is not pronounced as cat. It's not as cat. It's cut, cut. It's an O. O means you don't round your lips. You don't tense your muscles. Just be at ease. Leave your tongue in its normal position and say, oh, just like that. Don't move anything. And then you have this. Cut. Okay? So this is cut. So we have cut, we have above here. These words are different from sounds like like well. Sorry, never mind. شكون كيسولني بعدا سي Altenia Maritas. Okay, Altenia, look. So we have talked about this, and we know that this is called the central vowel. If you want to pronounce this, don't do anything to your mouth. Just open it slightly, feel relaxed, relaxed to the maximum, and say, oh, غتخرج هذه. We have it in cut, but we also have it in above. شوفوا معايا عفاكم. Look at this. This is a U, this is a U, and this is an O. But they are pronounced in roughly the same way. So all of them, have this pronunciation. And you have this mud. You know mud? Mud, I hope it will rain when it rains. And in the countryside, there is this mixture of the earth and the water. You obtain la boue in French, I don't know what to call it. الوحل. So it's called mud. How do you write it? It's like this. Mud. Look at this word here. Is it blood? Is it blood? ماشي البلاد. It's blood. Again, the vowel is this. So you say blood. You see? So what I would like you to know is that sometimes in a word you have different vowels. It doesn't mean that you have this vowel transcribed as this. No. We take just what we hear into account. So whenever you find a symbol like this, it means that whenever you hear a word that looks like cut, the vowel is like this. So you have above, you have mud. I have a suggestion for you, my friends. I am sure all of you have a dictionary at home. Some of you have small dictionaries like Oxford, for example, big or small. At the end of the dictionary, you have a list of transcriptions. Some of the dictionaries have that at the beginning. Okay, the best way of learning about this in just 1 hour is to look at that page. And if any one of you has a small Oxford, please tell us here so that they can take a screenshot or a picture and share it in WhatsApp. I know that you gather in WhatsApp and whatever. Share it with the friends. It's just one small page that can teach you a lot. Why? Because it gives you. Look at this. Look. For example, you will find this vowel, sorry. No. You will find this vowel. Yes. You will find this vowel, for example. هذا العجب هذا. This vowel. What is it? It's the vowel A. It's not A. It's A. You put your tongue touching, you make your tongue touching the end of your lower teeth. اللسان كنحطوه في حدا اللحم السناد اللي كاين لتحت هكا. And we say A. A. You see, this is it. Where do you find it? We find it in a word like cat. Okay? So the dictionary says, gives you a symbol like this, and it gives you an example here. For example, it will write the word cat like this. It means that this vowel is pronounced as a, like this. How do I know that this is a? It's because I know how a cat is pronounced. You never say a cat. You see, it's a cat. So you know that this is an a. Another example is sad. I'm very sad. Is it I'm very sad? No, it's very sad. So you have this is the same vowel here as here. Then you have a word like I can't. Is it I can't? Yeah, in British English, yes, it's an A, but in American English, it's I can't. Is it after? In British English, yes. In American English, it's after. It's like this. So the dictionary, the page, it's just one page. I'm not asking you to read many pages. Sure. Now, honestly, you know, if you want a very quick way, somebody asked me about the quick way of doing things like this. Just go to the dictionary. You have a small one. I know that it is in Oxford because the one I used when I was a student, and I continue to use it. Big version, small version. By the way, especially I'm addressing this to S1, S2 students, S3 also, although learning is lifetime. Please use a dictionary which is English, not English French, not English Arabic. Please also use a big dictionary, not a small one. A small one can help sometimes. Please also use a paper-based dictionary, not online dictionary. You may say that I am old school, but I'm speaking from experience. There's a big difference, my friend, in word retention from paper and from the screen. Why am I saying that you have to that you have to use a big dictionary, especially Oxford, for example, or anyone? And I don't care, but what I stress is the fact that it has to be an English dictionary. Why? Because if you translate, make sure you will make mistakes in your writing and your because words do not mean the same thing in all contexts. So it's better not to use that. You see, because who uses a bilingual dictionary? It's normally the translator, the one who has studied English, has studied French, and when he becomes a translator, they use dictionaries. But in your case, no. Monolingual dictionaries, yes. Well, if you struggle, for example, with a word and you cannot understand it here and there, you know, then you can resort to the bilingual, but make that as a rare activity. الناس اللي كتعتمد على لي ديكسيونير بيلانغ اللي فيهم جوج لغات اخطر ما كاين على المستوى ديالكم الاكاديمي. راه you are not doing a favor, you are doing a disfavor, you are ruining your linguistic competence. and I'm responsible for what I'm saying. انا كنقولها بكل مسؤوليه. You see, needless to well, and it happened to me on many occasions. I asked a student about we were talking about the Industrial Revolution, and I asked about when it started. Do you know when it started? Yes, one student raised the hand and made the point that the Industrial Revolution started in the 17th horn, and the horn is the horn of an animal. I immediately gathered that he uses a bilingual dictionary because he went to the dictionary and saw the word قرن. قرن عطاله horn, القرون زعما القرون ديال of animals. And this is an example of the catastrophic and the nefarious effect a bilingual dictionary can have. So many students think that because French and English are maybe closer, they use French-English dictionary. This is very bad. Believe me, if you are really keen on learning a language, then use the dictionary of that language and suffer with it. And when you suffer with it, the good times come later on. Okay, so I'm sorry I have opened this, but for practical purposes, for these vowels, I'm coming now to the topic, coming back. For these transcriptions of vowels and consonants, just for you, because they are just for you to know that they are not mysterious. And they are not difficult, and they are not from another world. No, this should be part of your learning of the English language. So what you can do is go to the dictionary, to the small dictionary like Oxford, I'm sure some students have it. Go, well, I don't know, is it on the first page or the last page? Anyway, check wherever you find that list of phonetic symbols with words. It means that in half an hour, I said before 1 hour. No, half an hour will solve the problem. Why? Because I have here a. I know I have a word cat here. It means wherever there is a word that looks like cat, the a is written like this. Cat, sad, and then I can create words and see if they are pronounced in the same way. Believe me, it will do miracles for you, okay? Both for consonants and also for vowels. All right, so let me just move on to the, I think I hope I have not skipped. I have a lot of comments today. Can you account for the ingrammatical forms since I decided my brother to leave? Oh my God, have other questions, I think. Do support. My God, there are a lot of, but this is nice. Okay, let me screen down. Oh, yes, I think, okay. Podcast, خطوة خير. Salam alaikum, dear Professor. Salam podcast. Thank you very much for joining us. Aisha Mubarak is raising the hand. Perhaps she wants to make a suggestion to talk, or I don't know, or just a hi. I don't know. But if it's a hi, then hi back, Aisha. Solomon Rokan says, I really feel I'm at university. Sorry for being late. Thank you, Professor, for your efforts. You are welcome, Salom. Thank you very much. Bushra Kujan. Hello, sir. Hope you are doing well. Can you explain what elision and liaison means in syllabic division? Okay. Yes. Okay. For liaison, this is something that we did in French, because you have this presupposes knowing about the syllable. Syllable generally, I say generally, not always, but generally has a consonant at the beginning, a vowel in the middle, and a consonant. A consonant. Let me say it again. A syllable has typically a consonant at the beginning, a vowel in the middle, and a consonant at the end. The consonant at the beginning is referred to as the onset. Onset. For example, the word but, b is the onset. For S1 students, you don't need to know this because it's not part of what I'm going to say. The vowel is called the nucleus, le noyau, nucleus, and the last consonant is called the coda. Sometimes there are languages that do not have coda. For example, like go. Go فيها غير, consonant and then vowel without, without the last consonant. And sometimes you don't have the first consonant, etc. But what is sure is that the vowel needs to be there. Okay, nice. Now the okay, that's Bushra, right? What is the elision and liaison, please? Elision simply means deletion. You know what deletion is? Okay. Sorry. Elision or deletion means what? Means you have a vowel and you have another vowel next to it. This is just an example because elision can be in different contexts. Or sometimes you have a consonant, it depends. But elision, sometimes you have a vowel next to another vowel, and then this is deleted. Let me give you an example from French. Okay, Bushra. Bushra, in French, we say le tableau. Le tableau. Look at this here. We have a vowel, we have a consonant. Life is good, nothing happens. But just imagine I have a word in French, okay, that starts with a vowel. Okay, for example, ami, au masculin, مثلا. Normally, what we have here is le ami. Do we say il est le ami de mon frère? No, because here you have a vowel, and then here you have another vowel, and the two vowels meet, and the result is what we call a hiatus or hiatus, a hiatal structure. What happens here? Because two vowels meet, this is not possible in languages. By the way, most of the languages would not tolerate vowel. What happens? One of them has to elide. D'où le mot elision. The verb is to elide, elision, and delete, deletion. Okay, so this here deletes. That's why in French, la rencontre de deux voyelles, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Okay, lors d'une rencontre entre deux voyelles, on supprime la première et on met l'apostrophe comme ça pour dire qu'on avait une voyelle naïve. You see? So here we have a V cluster. We have a process of deletion or elision. I am answering Bushra here. Okay? So this is a process of elision. The vowel elides. Another way of saying elides is deletes, la chute d'une voyelle. تسقط. You see? Why? Because we have VV. Sometimes languages, there are some languages like French, when it comes to the definite article, to the singular, the strategy of the French language is to, because no language tolerates V and V, vowel. So French is a language that elides, that resorts to the elision of the vowel in order to save the structure, because VV is not a good thing. It's not... it's a sin. It's illegal. You see? Good. Now, sometimes when it comes to plural nouns in French, what happens? Look at this. We have les garçons. Les garçons. Life is good because you have les garçons. And then just imagine we have a word in French that starts with a vowel again. Hein? Les infirmiers. Okay, so we have infirmier. And then we have les. Don't look at how a word is written. Look at how a word is pronounced. So we have les here, and we have les here. Here we have garçon, here we have infirmier. Now, infirmier starts with a vowel. Okay? The French language, how languages can be intelligent and mysterious at the same time. Look, French, est-ce qu'il y a une trace d'un S? Do we have a trace of S here? No. Even historically, ما كاينش S, ما عمرها ما كانت في le singulier. Et du coup, la langue, the language resorted to the deletion, هنا elision. Okay? Now, the same language, which is French, in plurals, it does something different. ولكن le but, c'est le même. C'est باش تخلص من vowel ما كيكونوش هادو ما كيتحملوش. ماشي غير في الانجليزي والفرنسي، في كل شيء. You see? Alors, les Français, عندي les garçons, مزيان. يعني les amis. Donc, one solution is to sacrifice هاد L apostrophe. دير بحال هنايا. Mais non, ça va pas marcher parce que غيولي عندنا l'infirmier غيولي ما عرفوا واش singular ولا plural. Do you understand? So the language, the French language has thought of an intelligent solution. It says that I have a written S there, which was historical parce qu'en espagnol on a los et las, ce qui veut dire que ça provient du latin. Donc, French has decided to revive this S that died a long time ago in French. هو كيجي هنايا pour rompre باش يكسر هذاك الالتقاء ديال vowel. Okay, so we have what we call liaison. That's what was it Aisha Bushra. So we have les, and then we pronounce this S as Z. Les infirmiers. هذا كيخلي هاد لا فويل ما تلاقاش مع هاد لا فويل. كيما هنايا on a supprimé باش ما يتلاقاوش. المهم ما خصهمش يتلاقاو. Okay. Bushra, I hope I have answered your question here. كنهضروا على syllable division because VV is not tolerated, so we have to, to write, for example, vowel consonant, les, and then vowel consonant. This is syllable division. It's like a redivision of the syllable. Sisaid says, I have one interesting question regarding the Moroccan Arabic. Dear professor, does stress exist in Moroccan Arabic? Is it quantity sensitive, you mean quantity sensitive, or the opposite? I'm afraid, because it never occurred to me to work on the stress of Moroccan Arabic. Some of my colleagues did that, and I frankly speaking, I cannot tell. I have not studied that, and I've not published anything on it. So I need to check this with the but by the way, you can check Professor Boudlal's work. You have Abdelaziz Boudlal. You have people who work on Moroccan Arabic. You have a lot of Ben Soukas and Boudlal, and you have others. Anyway, there are many. I can provide you with a list of these. They did interesting work, by the way. But personally, I'm not in a position to talk about these things for the simple reason that it has not been my domain of research. Thank you, Saïd. Doctors, أهلا أستاذة سميرة. أهلا وسهلا. ما يدعني لا سميرة. Ça va? Juste pour vous dire que malheureusement, la soutenance de demain a été reportée. Donc, we will not meet in Fez. So, we will wait for another date, inshallah. Thank you very much, Professor Samira, for joining us. Je vous remercie infiniment. Thank you. Aisha Boubrik, sorry, you are talking about, what are you talking about, please? Aisha, we are talking, the topic of today's session is stress assignment in English, or stress rules in English. We are going to talk about them after I read these comments. So please bear with us this discussion, which is nice anyway. It's good to talk to our friends about, different topics. Sorry, what are you talking about? That's I answered you. Natalie says the to support. I think we don't need two auxiliary verbs in this case. That's true. Two auxiliary verbs are not possible, of course, in any language, in any clause. Two clauses, yes, you may have two auxiliary verbs. But within one clause, no. They cannot be close mates. All right. Thank you, Hussein Najdi. How we can divide in the syllable. Wait a minute, Mr. Husni. I'll come to this. If you are patient enough, we will move to this in a moment, because there is a good lesson waiting for you. Natalie says done. Thank you, Natalie. Whatever you did, thank you. I don't know. You said done. Okay. Anwar, okay. Rabi, I got it, sir. Thank you. Mr. Zakaria. So to bother again, can you account for the grammatical? I decided my brother to leave. هنا Mr. Bentakhu Zakaria, yes, there is a problem. The only way of explaining the ingrammaticality in this sentence is to refer to case filter violation. Here, the NP incurs a clear violation of case filter, which requires NPs to be case assigned. So here, how do we know that there is no case assignment here? For the simple reason that the word my brother okay, which is the subject of the next clause of decide, the subject of the clause, which is itself the direct object of decide. So my brother here occurs near an inflection, an infil note or a T note or whatever. And this T note is minus tense, minus agreement, which means that it is not equipped to assign case. It does not have features, let alone assign case, which means that my brother here is not case assigned. It is not assigned any case, which means that it violates case filter, which means that the sentence is ungrammatical. Okay. Then that's one thing. The other thing is that after I decided I should not have an NP, that place where my brother is not for my brother, it's because there is an empty category, which is big pro, which is the subject of to leave by the extended projection principle, which requires clauses to have subjects. So that place there for my brother is not reserved for my brother. No. So it's the deep structures, I decided pro to leave. Pro is an empty category, which is syntactically active, but phonologically null. So here you have two arguments here, at least. I repeat them very quickly. If we have decided there, it means it's a violation of case filter. That's out. Reason number two, my brother there should not exist there because that place is filled. Filled with what? With a big pro. You see? So we say, I decided to leave, not I decided my brother to leave. Be like a schwa. It's never stressed. Very good. I always say that to some of our students who say, I'm stressed. I say, are you a vowel? Are you a diphthong? Why are you stressed? Okay. And the strong stress. We will come to this, Anwar, in a moment. Natalie, for emphasis. Okay. Nice. Can you share with us some details in regard to PFE? PFE, you mean the end of study projects? Yes, I can. All that you need to do is ask a question, and then I can talk about it for 1 hour or two without any problem. Shayma says, when I search, I found that Persian is wrote in 2 different transcriptions. Also, teacher, could you show us how we can make the difference between long sounds and short sounds in vowels? Short sounds, you mean, in vowels? Very easy. In English and also in Arabic and in English and other languages, you have vowels that are long and vowels that are short. Moroccan Arabic and Amazigh languages, تعرفي تشنحي Amazigh, long vowels do not exist. There are no long vowels. Moroccan Arabic does not have long vowels. Standard Arabic has long vowels. Okay, when you say tarikh, it's not a tarikh, it's a tarikh. A tarikh, and e. Now, in English, do we have long vowels? Yes, we have long vowels in English. And long vowels in English are very important. Long vowels in English are very important because there are some vowels that we pronounce. There are words that contain vowels that become long to produce, another word. For example, you have a word like this. What's the difference between this and this? Seek and sick. Here you have a vowel which is long. It's e. It's not e. It's not I sick. No. Here I am sick. I am sick. So here you have a vowel which is okay, like this. Oh, sorry. It's usually like this. Okay, you have a long vowel. Okay, something like this. And here you have an E like this. E, E. You have a word like move. Move. Fool. He is a fool. You have, and then you have full. Full. So this O here is actually this, and this is just this. For long vowels, when you want to represent a long vowel, all that you need to think about is that long vowels have these 2 points. 2 points. Whenever you find 2 points, it means that the vowel is long. So if you have a, like this, it means it's a. When you have u, it's u, long vowel. Okay, nice. So we can talk about the Mustafa is writing above. Yes, above. Look at, yeah. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for writing those transcriptions. So students, if you would like to copy Mustafa's or see Mustafa's examples, that will be good. Yeah, fat for the illustrator. It's like a cat, that fat there. Yes. Yeah, about Mustafa. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's good that you are chatting with so I skip these because they are conversations with Mustafa. Beth, as well as different pronunciations. Okay, let me just see if there are. Mustafa Moshid, the Martes. Okay, all right. So that's discussion, so I can skip it. I believe, Professor, that MA has long vowels. Moroccan Arabic, when it comes to emphasis, yes. By long vowels, so whether a language has long vowels and or short or not, we are talking here about the phonemic status of long vowels. In English, for example, long vowels are phonemic. The proof is that you have full and full. In standard Arabic, we do have that because we have al-barru, barru biwalidayh. You have an-naharu, and then you have an-naharu. Okay, and you have others, of course. So we can say it's in standard Arabic. You mean in standard Arabic, Saeed? In standard Arabic, I don't think it's phonemic. No, it's just lexical length. But sometimes you can come across minimal pairs in standard Arabic, which I have just thought up these things. An-naharu, al-barru, al-barru. And then you have some. There are a few, or let me say few, because they are not enough to establish a general rule for that. But certainly they are not long. So long vowels in Morocco, in Moroccan Arabic, are derived. Not really. They are not allophonic. To the best of my knowledge, they are not allophonic. Maybe they are. You mean Moroccan Arabic? I don't think so. I don't think so, because the inventory of vowels in Moroccan Arabic, the basic vowels are a, e, and u, which is also, the triangular shape that Semitic languages have, generally, or Hamitic languages, Semitic, they come into Semitic. They have this triangular form of a, e, u, but you have, vowel qualities that change. But in Moroccan Arabic, if there is any long vowel, then it should be outside of phonology. It's discoursal. It can be related to maybe pragmatic constraints. Let me say, for example, you say wacha and then wacha sidi. You see, can we say that this is phonemic or there is derivation? No, you need extra phonological information to account for it. For example, wacha, when you mean this, that's more of semantico-pragmatic information, but not the allophonic. Said, I don't think that this is the case in Moroccan Arabic. Correct me if I am wrong. Okay, that's for emphasis. For other it has a non-phonological explanation. Okay, good. Now, I'm afraid I have taken these students who are waiting for the word stress rules that we will start right away. Thank you, Si Mustafa Baraklafi. Si Mustafa, you are just amazing. You are 1 in a million. Okay, together with Natalie. No, we are just doing what we can, huh? We are always learning, Si Mustafa. Okay, let's start. The we have 41 students. Please invite your friends, our friends who requested, that I talk about stress, assignment. Stress in phrasal verbs. Let me start with this. Generally, stress on phrasal verbs, when you have when you have simple prepositions like up, down, etc. When you have these monosyllabic, we have prepositions with one syllable, then stress will fall on the other part, the verb. We say show up, sit down. It's not show up, sit down. No, okay? It's very easy, but when you have a word like upon, beyond, upon, for example, call upon, you call upon someone, upon here, you know, stress falls on. This is generally the thing. There is not much to say about phrasal verbs actually, but stress is more relevant to other cases that I would like you to follow with me in a moment. Okay, so are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so let's just go ahead to the discussion of are the students ready to start? Our S1 students here? Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Just a sip of water and then. Okay, the very first thing that I would like to start with in order to understand this issue of stress very well, you cannot know the rule of stress assignment in English. I repeat, my friends, you cannot know where to put stress in English, okay, if you do not, sorry, let me just switch that screen. So you cannot determine where to put stress in English if you do not know how to determine the syllable. It means how to say how many syllables there are in a given word. I repeat, you cannot learn about stress rules if you cannot divide the word into syllables. ده ماشي syllable structure سعيد. That's complicated. Never mind. ماشي مشكلة هذه. But it's simpler than that. Simpler than that. You have a word and you should be able to tell me how many syllables. Let's start with this very, quickly. This is something I pointed to earlier. You have, for example, the advice that I give students here is to have this musical ear. It's when you look at a word, even if a word that you don't know, when you try to sing that word, you'll be able to see what syllables there are, how many syllables there are. Give me any word and let's sing it. Let's sing Nathalie Leblanc. Let's sing Nathalie. Nathalie. How many syllables are there in Nathalie? Nathalie. 3. We can sing by knocking on the table. Nathalie. It's not Nata and then Li. We feel that we don't have rules. Yeah, thank you. Nathalie has let's look at the word that Nathalie has written. She wrote the word syllabification. Syllabification. How many words are there in syllabification? Let's sing them. مازال بلال مازال أخويا Sibila, would you kindly paste this sentence later on? Place this question later on because I've started with our S1 students and I don't want them to be confused because this is mostly motivated by the request. So all right, so let's say syllabification. 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 So you have 6. Very good. Oh, I'm very happy. I hope my S1 students are able to do it this way. So it's a little bit of singing, a little bit of non-phonetic things, So you can take any word and try to divide it into its syllables. If you are confused, it's good for you to get relaxed by singing the word to yourself, even during the exam. There is no problem. Sing it to your mind. Okay? It's good because that helps you cut down the word into parts, and those parts are syllables. Okay? So that's point 1. Now, let's move on. Yes, Ardwan. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to bear in mind. The second thing, now let's start with the first rule for stress. First rule, number one, that you need to bear in mind. If you have a word that has two syllables, okay, if you have a word that has two syllables and you are asked to stress it, to say which syllable is stressed and which is not stressed, then you should be able to divide the word into syllables by singing it. Safida Bahashi, we talked about it. Number two, the rule says when you generally, it's 99% of the cases. You see, because when we say stress rules, they do not apply 100%. Maybe 99, 98. There are always exceptions that characterize a lot of. So I have stained my hand here. Never mind. You understand? So here, when it is a noun, when you have a noun, a word with two syllables, but this word is a noun. Like what, for example? Like table. Cable, table. Okay? Window. Look at this, please. Even if window has more words than table, the number of syllables is the same. Can we sing table? Table, two syllables. Window, window, two syllables. I look through the window, window, two syllables. So you have two syllables here, two syllables here. Okay, butter. Mustafa says butter. Natalie says present, like gift. لا ما نديرش هذه ناتالي. No, Natalie, no, not yet. Not yet, Natalie. not yet. Okay, I know why I have to leave this until later. So you have this. Adjectives now. Happy. أعطوني adjectives now. Adjectives with two syllables. Sauver Chanel or channel. لا ما تحسبيش بلي فوايل كاع ما تحسب sing صافي غير sing بعدا. Just sing, not in terms of vowels. For the moment, if you are an S1 student, don't think of vowels at all, even if stress is linked to vowels, of course. But just sing and then try to determine the syllables. Mustafa says lovely, tired. لا tired سي بن عيسى sorry. Sukaina bin Isa, okay, because I thought that bin Isa is the first name. I'm sorry, Sukaina. Sukaina, no, tired is one syllable because I am tired. Don't say I am tired. No, tired because ed is rd. It's a consonant, so it's okay. Crazy. Thank you. Look at this. إلى آخره. So excited. Fadil, you have three syllables there in excited. You have excited. The child was excited. No? Punctual. ثلاثة. Third one. ثلاثة عندك تمة. Punctual. Okay, so we have a situation here, as you can see. We have table, we have a syllable here, another syllable here, a syllable here, window, syllable here, butter like this, happy like this, and crazy like this, okay? The rule says when you have a word in English, which is either a noun or an adjective, علاش a noun and an adjective? By the way, wait, because I'm talking to S1 students and they have to understand things clearly. Adjectives are historically linked. Some people say that the adjectives جايين من nouns. Adjectives are nouns actually historically, and they developed into modifiers of nouns. The number one. Number two, adjectives say something about the noun. When I say beautiful, you cannot say a beautiful quickly. No. Adjectives, beautiful, you have to have a noun there. Beautiful girl, beautiful, I don't know, poem or whatever. You see? So good. Yeah, Sisa, just follow your academic companion and things will be fine, okay? Now, so that's هادشي كنقول لكم باش تعقلوا الطلبه هنايا باش علاش مثلا الناونز مجموعين مع الادجكتيفز حيت عندهم علاقه وطيده بيناتهم. دونك هنايا when you have nouns and adjectives with two syllables, the rule says yes. That thank you, Ridwan. Yeah, right. Yes. So when you have a word with two syllables, هادو كاملين, that are either adjectives or nouns, stress falls on the first syllable. I repeat, when you have when you have nouns and adjectives that have two syllables, stress falls on the first syllable. See, we have table, and then bow. Bow is not stressed, but tay is stressed. Window. Do we say, اسمعوا باش نفهمكم هاد stress, S1 students. Do we say window or do we say window? I'm looking through the window. اضحكوا علي لو قلت كنهضر هكا. I'm looking through the window. No, I'm looking through the window. Okay? And same thing for butter. I like butter. It's not I like butter. No, butter. We don't speak like this. You see? So here we stress falls always on the first syllable. Do we say I am happy or I am happy? You see, there is a difference. I am happy. If someone comes and say, "Oh, today I got a good grade, I am happy." تقول له هذاك الجود جريد فيها شك اسمح لي since you pronounce happy as happy. You are crazy. It's not you are crazy. Crazy. No, it's crazy. Okay. بلال تم بعد اخويا الله يخليك. You wait if you can wait for us until after we finish this lesson. بارك الله فيك Mustafa, you are just I feel flattered, Mustafa. Thank you very much for your commitment and your kindness. When we have an adjective, Said says, and a noun that consists of two syllables, stress falls on the first syllable. Thank you, Said. Very good. Okay, have we settled this? Now let's move on. Rule 2, my friends. Rule 2. If a word is not a noun, is not an adjective, it's a verb. When we have a verb with two syllables, like, for example, defer. You have the word, I'm just thinking them up. Help please. لا سي مصطفى هادوك ما بغيتش ندير هادو دابا. هادو عندهم اون كلاس بوحدهم باش نفهموا الطلبه اكثر ان شاء الله. So if there is one thing you can learn here is the fact that in teaching it's always good to start with what is simple and what is easy, and then you go things that لا سي سعيد it's important. No, important عندك 3 syllables. Let's take Natalie and Latifa and Natalie's examples. So you have forget, okay, and then you have pretend, and then you have intend, Shema abbreviation, infer. Let's say infer. Thank you, Zach. And then refer, and then okay, prefer. Thank you, prefer. يلا كملين هذا واخا. Protect. Yes. Let's discuss. Thank you. Explain. Thank you very much. All of you have provided me with you have helped me actually. Okay. Okay. لا سي بلال I will for sure answer your question. If you are an S5er, an S5 student, then one thing you can do is go and work on something instead of keeping you waiting for the answer here, because I'm dealing with these things that probably, if you are an S5er, then they may not be of relevance to you. Once I finish these things with the students, I am still here anyway. Okay, please paste your question, and then of course I will answer it, or ask Si Mustafa to copy that question. Si Mustafa Mourchid or Nathalie Leblanc, copy that question from Bilal FTS, and then leave it here just in case he leaves and he wants to watch the video later. I will answer that question. So please, if he is not with us here, then I can answer it in absentia. All right, my friend here. سي حسني نشتي انا كنبدا لا فيرسيون لا بلو سامبل عاد غادي نترجم باش الطلبه يفهموا. اوكي سي حسني. So wait, I will talk about that. There is a story for those things. Never mind, don't worry Mr. Husni, I'll explain everything here. Okay, let's move on here. Differ, how many syllables there are here? Differ to. Forget, pretend, intend, infer, protect. All of these are, you see, are 2-syllable words. The rule says, my friends, the rule says, yes, edit. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. That's but edit here is داخله في exceptions later on. So sudden is not a verb. Sudden is not a verb. Look, so let's consider these verbs. These verbs are just like the nouns and the adjectives that we saw before. For the nouns and the adjectives, nouns and adjectives, they have this relation. So nouns and adjectives, it's just like one category. Stress falls on the first syllable. بالحق, on verbs, because we have verbs here. So when a word that has 2 syllables is a verb, stress falls on the second syllable. Very easy to remember. Noun and its sister, which is the adjective, if you have 2 syllables, stress falls on the first. When you have a verb, stress falls on the second. For example, it's differ. It's not differ. We do not say it differs from. We say English differs from French, not English differs from French. No. So here, stress falls here. Do you say forget? It's a common mistake in the pronunciation of so many students. Teacher, I forgot. No, it's I forgot, not I forgot. Forgot. There is a difference. So it's not forget, it's forget. Fer is just a weak one. Forget. Get is the one that is stressed. Because it's a verb and because it has 2 syllables. Now, for pretend, do you say pretend? No. You pretend? No, it's you pretend. So again, here you have the second syllable, not the first. Intend, c'est avoir l'intention. It's not I intend to go. Do you say I intend to travel? No, it's I intend to travel tomorrow. Infer, it's not infer, it's infer. And it's not protect. Ça vient du français protéger, parce qu'en français, the stress falls on the first, même si il s'agit d'un verbe. Mais in English, no, it's clear. We have a verb, we have 2 syllables, stress falls on the second syllable. Protect. You don't say protect. Protect. That's how you pronounce it. Is that clear, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, on the second syllable, thank you. And now, Natalie and Si Mustafa, have talked about some words. I say, no, I'll keep them. Yes, okay. See, Adil Laglaimi says 2 syllables. If they are nouns or adjectives, stress on the first syllable. If they are verbs, stress on the second syllable. Yes, Shayma. Yes, Shayma. صافي. سالينا هذه. واخا نمشيو للقسم الجزء الثاني ديال هذا الشو. اوكي. sorry, I'm coming up with a cold and شكرا سي مصطفى الله يخطيك علينا. سي Mustafa is encouraging me. That's why I am here. While people probably are fast asleep. Or, see? Okay. Thank you, سي Mustafa. لا هنا you are still with us. سقش مع الدانيتين. عافاك. بارك الله فيك. Thank you. Anna is on holidays, and because in France they have, I think, 1 week holiday. I don't know. Tell us, Lalla Hana, inform us. Okay. أنتم رائعين ماشي الحلقة. Okay. So let me move to something else, please. We have words like this, and we have this, and we have this. Okay, we have etc. Let's look at these words. Ladies and gentlemen, Irfan Ahmed, sorry sir, I am joining time. Find you the wonderful teacher, least available here in Pakistan. Okay, thank you so much. You are welcome, our dear friend, and it's just a pleasure to have a follower from outside of the country, of Morocco. Yeah, it's really nice. It's so the channel is starting to have this international, reach, which is really nice. So you, my friends, you welcome Mr. Irfan Ahmed. Thank you very much. So let's look at these. Mr. Irfan Ahmed, this is an opportunity to ask you to share the link to this YouTube channel to your friends, to the ones that thank you very much. Really nice to hear this from you. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at these words. As you can see, these words are 2-syllable words. Yes or no? Let's try. Record. Let's sing it. I want to record. Juge. Contest. Rebel. Present. Absent. Object. Refuse. Okay. These are thank you, Shayma. Thank you. She says I have a good teaching style. Thank you very much. Thank you so much indeed. Okay. Now, these words, all of these words, have 2 syllables. How do we know? An opportunity to sing, or tap on the table, or clap the hands. But if you are on the day of the exam, if you are in a classroom, don't clap the hands. Just why the teacher will come say, what are you doing? You are disturbing. No, I have an exercise on this. I have to determine the number of syllables. Okay, just joking. Okay, so we have 2 syllables here. My friends, the words that we have here can function depending on their context. Sometimes they are verbs. Sometimes they are nouns. Oh, thank you, Mr. Irfan. He says it's around 3 a.m. but your lecture drawn attention, inshallah, sir. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Really nice of you. And if you would like to watch this later, there is always, you will find the video available. There are other lectures. Thank you. Okay. So here, these words can sometimes be verbs, sometimes be a noun. It depends on the context in which they are used. For example, let's take the first one. Okay? If I want to record my voice here, the verb is to record. Say, I record my voice on the phone. Okay? Some students record the lectures, in classes. Some people will record, I will record what you are saying by pen. Record can be used in different contexts as a verb. When I say I will record you, so because in the sentence you can tell if a word is a verb or is a noun. It depends on where it occurs. I hope you understand me. So here, record sometimes can be a noun, but a verb, but it can also be a noun. For example, you finished in a record time. I broke records. Do you understand? So record here can be sometimes a noun, can be sometimes, a verb. Here, life is easy now because we know that when you have two syllables, even if the word is the same, when it is an adjective or a noun, stress on the first syllable. When it is a verb, stress on the second syllable. Let's give an example with sentences here. Record as a verb. He wants to record. He wants to record his professor. It's not he wants to record his professor. So as a verb, it falls here, record. So we have here, look at this. Let me write it here. So this is a verb. This is a noun. So record, it's this syllable that is stressed. Record. And this re is pronounced in a light way. Record. You see? Here, no, when it is a noun, it's not cord, it's curd. You see? Because stress comes here. Re. Re. Here, it's just re. Here, it's re. Why? Because this is stressed because it's a noun. First syllable stressed, like this. Record. Record. Here. There is a, and then you have context. If it's a noun, then of course you have con is the first syllable. There is a contest. But when it is a verb, it's contest. So we have contest, 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 test, and then test. So as you can see, when we move from the noun to the verb, stress shifts, which proves what we said at the beginning. When you have a word with two syllables, even if the words are the same, okay, what is important is the category. Is it a noun or an adjective, or is it a verb? That's how we know. So look at this. Rebel. He is a rebel. Stressful here. Alash, because it's a noun and it's two syllables. A rebel. But the verb, we say they rebel. So we have rebel, rebel. Rebel, rebel. Stress shifts. Look at this. You have the adjective when the teacher calls you in the class. So, and for example, Nathalie Leblanc, she says present, because present is an adjective, yes or no? And we say adjective and noun. And now he gave her a present. It means he gave her a gift. Do we say he gave her a present? No. Does Nathalie say present? No. Because present is an adjective, and when you have the synonym of a gift, it's a noun. So here, again, present is here. But when you have a noun, I will present you with a picture. It means I give you a picture. He presented her with something, means he gave her something. Okay? And by the way, in Morocco, we have students sometimes make this mistake because they are influenced by French. Let me present myself. It's let me introduce myself, not present myself. Or let me present my friend. No, let me introduce my friend. Okay, so you have present here as a verb, stress falls here. Same thing for absent. Nathalie is absent, Absent. Absent is just a small, chunk. But the verb here is absent. For example, I don't like to absent from the classes so much. I don't. Yeah, they are false friends, Saeed. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's a parenthesis. I'll open see Mustafa. Let me finish this. So we say absent. 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 Object, but the verb is to object. It's here. I object to what you say. It's not I object to what you say. No. And you say this is an object. It's not this is an object. And same thing for refuse, etc. So, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion from this first part is that when you have a two-syllable word, and now you know, fortunately, how to determine a syllable, syllables are easy, just sing them. That's all. ما كاين لا consonant لا vowel. في هذا النيفو هذا. You see, at this level of S1, S2, you need to know how many syllables there are. Full stop. You do it by singing. That's it. Okay? Nice. Now let's move on to another stage. Another stage, please. I hope the S1 students here are following. Type 1 if you are following. Otherwise, we can switch the topic. The worst that can happen to a teacher is to talk while nobody listens to him or her. Okay, let's move on, please, to the second rule. Okay, nice. Now we are going to talk about a situation where we have more than two syllables. Someone asked me about monosyllabic. Monosyllabic means one syllable. Yes, Shayma, that's true. Monosyllabic means one syllable. Stress on the only syllable. That's true. Of course. Yes, two syllables. Stress on the second syllable. Polysyllabic multiple syllable. ولكن لاله شيماء غادي نصحح لك المعلومة الثانية. So we do not say stress. So here. For disyllabic, it's not always the case that stress falls on the second syllable. No, we just given the rule. Disyllabic means two syllables. I just did not want to use disyllabic because it's probably more advanced for some students here. So I say two syllables. And two syllables is subject to a rule. It depends. It's always, bear in mind that it depends on whether we have a noun or adjective, or whether we have a verb. Okay? Mars Bangkok. We can use present as a synonym of introduce somebody, present somebody to somebody, formal, to introduce somebody formally, especially. But the point is that since there is the verb introduce, it's more likely for introduce to be the right word. Otherwise, we will, the words will be false friends. So even in the frequency, the real English, a native speaker would never say present you Mr. X. It's always I introduce you to Mr. X, or introduce myself. Yeah, if it's one syllable, yes. If it's one syllable, بالحق شوف Mr. Saeed. And the rest here. One syllable, if it is given just as one word. You see, I repeat this. One syllable word, if it's just one word isolated, but if it's inside a sentence, sometimes no. For example, when you have the word end. La conjonction, end. It's end, and stress falls here. But when this is inside, or in the middle of two words, no. You see, for example, you have smartphones and laptops. هذاك عند ما بيناش كاع خلي عاد يكون عنده ستريس. Smartphones and laptops. كتولي غير it becomes just okay. So be careful if you are given just this in isolation, not inside a sentence. Yes. But if it's in the middle, no. Yes. Okay, let's move on to something else, please. I would like you to know that sometimes, look at this, my friend. Yeah, we refer to them as function and content words. That's true. Okay, let me give you this example, ladies and gentlemen. If I have a word like historic, how many words are there in the word historic? Let's sing it. شوف, in the abbreviation there is no stress. Shema, in the abbreviation there is no stress. علاش? Because in the abbreviation the vowel does not exist. Stress needs a vowel. Stress falls on a vowel in the syllable. So if you have an abbreviation, no stress at all. Okay, so let's take historic. Let's sing the word historic. This is historic. 3, very good. Yuki, have you sung the word? Yuki, you are great if you can sing the word. This is historic. 3. All of you are saying 3. Thank you. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. So here you have his, tool, and then rec. Okay, now do we have so let's say historical. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 for historical. His, tool, recall. وكدبوني. Sing it and you will see. Okay, look. Historic, historical, historical. 4. Okay, I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, to know, and this will help you a lot. You will do the exercise without any hesitation. Sukaina says nope. Nope for what, Sukaina? Okay. When you want to talk about the number of syllables, we do it this way. Okay, good. Okay. How about history? History 3. History 3. Because we say he is a specialist in history. History 3. Thank you. Very good. Okay. Now we have this. Forget about this. Let me delete it. Can you look here, please? Okay, so we have a word here that has these syllables. The rules that I will tell you, my friends, the rules that I will tell you, that I will talk about, that I will discuss with you, okay, depend on the place of the syllable. So the stress rules that we are going to talk about, depend on the place, as I said, of the syllable. Usually, when we talk about stress rules in English, we start from the last one. Okay? So the last syllable in a word is called the ultimate syllable. This is ultimate. Ultimate syllable. Because ultimate in English means last. That's why you say, when you tell a story, say, ultimately, we came back home safe. You see? So it's ultimate means the last one. All right? So there are rules that are like this. This one here is called penultimate. This one is referred to as penultimate. What is penultimate? Anna, look at this. Have penultimate. You have 3 pens. This is the first, this is the last. This is the first, this is the last. So this is the ultimate, but penultimate. Okay? And so the other one, number 3, is called anti-penultimate. شوف كيف نكتب anti-penultimate. 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 Donc هنا شنو زدنا n. So we have ultimate, the penultimate. هذه زدنا عليها anti-penultimate. Anti means before. ماشي anti avec I. Anti with an e means before. In Spanish you have antes pour dire, just to say before. Okay, good. So let's Said, in English, when you go beyond the anti-penultimate, stress is not a problem at all. So the domain of stress, I doubt whether there is one. But the domain of stress in the English language is just here. يا هذه يعني فاش كنهضروا على more than 2 syllables. For 2 syllables, Selina, we talked about that, we explained that, very nice. Life is good. Now, for the one that has, even if the word can have 5 or 7 syllables, okay? The domain of stress is either here or here or here. Safi tanina. You have no problem. Okay? So you have ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. All right? So let's move on to the discussion of some rules. The rules will depend on some prefixes, okay? So for okay, I have prefixes here. Let me just clean the board, please. So the words that end in ik or shin and jin. Jin. Okay. So when you have a word that ends in ik or shin and jin, okay? The rule says that stress falls on the penultimate, okay, on the penultimate syllable. So give me the words, just give me the words. So we have decision, decision, give me one with shin, perfection, look at this. Thank you for this word, Natalie, because I will say something about it. And then you have climatic, education, thank you, perfection, education, let me write it here, education, thank you, okay. Nice, very good. Fantastic. Let's write this fantastic because you are fantastic. Okay. Now, if I have this on the day of the exam, but before that, the rule says, my friends, the rule says, let's work on this. Let's work on all of them and I give you an example. The rule says, if you have a word that ends in ik or shin or jin, شوفوا انتم كيفاش تحفظوا هادو. You can create a word or ik, shin, and jin. The words that end in these means that stress falls on the penultimate syllable. نشوفوا شنو هي penultimate syllable. Decision. How many syllables are there? Decision. 3. You see? So you have D, C, and then jin. So what's the rule? The rule is I have jin here, which is a 3-syllable word. I have an ultimate syllable, a penultimate syllable, and an anti-penultimate syllable. So the words here, the rule says, when you have words ending in ik or shin or jin, stress falls on the penultimate syllable. يعني la deuxième من الآخر هي penultimate. So you have ultimate, next to it is penultimate. كنبداو من هنا ها؟ ماشي من الأول. We don't start from the beginning. We start from the end. So you have ultimate, no, because the rule you have this. I have jin. I should look for the penultimate. Donc هنايا كندير stress هنايا. Donc, of course, as you know, we don't say this. We don't say decision. This comes from French, la décision. In French, it's on the anti-penultimate. In English, no, it's penultimate. We have a clear rule here. It's decision. It's not decision, and it's not decision. It's not decision. No, it's decision. Decision. Okay, decision. All right. Good. So this is anti-penultimate. Let's see, because we have a longer word here, and let's see if the rule applies. So how many syllables do we have here for the word perfection? Perfection. 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 So we have perfection. How do you pronounce this? Is it perfection? No. Is it perfection? No. It's perfection. Perfection. So here again, we have ultimate, anti-penultimate. Yes, it's here. Why? Because I have shin. It's one of the groups here. And I have a penultimate. It's there where stress should occur. Okay. Climatic. Climatic, I have ik here. Yeah. How many syllables are there? 3, because it's climatic. Okay, climatic. So you have a syllable here, another one here, and this one here. Let me apply the rule. This is the ultimate, this is the penultimate. Stress falls here. It's climatic. It's not climatic. Do we say the climatic changes? No. Someone influenced by French, you can say les changements climatiques. Climatic. No, in English, no, it's climatic. Climatic. And it's not climatique. Do we say climatique? It means that the ultimate word is stressed, which is not the case. You see, so it's climatic. Fantastic, the same thing. In French, it's fantastic. Fantastic. In English, no, it's not fantastic. It's fantastic. So it's here. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, the S is here, so the syllable is here. So stress falls here. Is it always the case when we have suffixes such as the ones you mentioned? Yes. There are very few exceptions, and I don't think on the day of the exam the teacher will give you, because the teacher will be looking for whether you know how to apply a rule or not whether you know the exception. You see, we have an exception. For example, let me tell you this. Do you have a word like you have this word here. But the pronunciation is lunatic. It's not lunatic. You see, هذه داخلة في exceptions, but it's very rare compared to the so many words that you can have here. Okay, so it's, let me say, it's 99%. And on the day of the exam, your teacher will probably give you a rule, not an exception. Okay. And now let's move on to other prefixes. I have a few examples here. Maybe I can give you an exercise if you wish. Okay. Now we move to other prefixes like so when you have C, a prefix ending in C, or T or G or phi. It's like a Y. It ends in a Y. Let's say هذو كاملين فيهم Y. Mostly the ones that end in Y. Okay? Examples. So these are all ending in Y. Let's take the example of photography. Okay, photography. Let's say photography. I need words, please, for, so photography, this is done. Geology, electricity, and you have diplomacy. Phonology. Let me add phonology here. يلا سير على phonology. Okay. Can you concentrate on this, please? If we take these, photography, how many syllables are there? Photography. 4. Photography. He likes photography. Photography. 4. Geology. Geology. Electricity. 5. Electricity. 5. Diplomacy. 4. Phonology. 4. So we have longer words here. So one of the characteristics of these ending in Y, the prefixes, the suffixes, that end in Y, examples are C, T, G, and then phi. The rule says when you have these words ending in Y, in a suffix with Y, stress falls on the anti-penultimate syllable. Anti-penultimate. Let's see. So I have a word here on the day of the exam. The first thing to do is to enjoy singing it. Photography. Photography. 4. So photography. You see, you have 4. هذا الأو داخله هنا باش. So here, like this. Photography. Photography. I have Y, so stress falls on the anti-penultimate syllable. فينا هي anti-penultimate. كم ضمن ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. That's why we say photography. If someone comes and say, I like photography, you look like French, my friend, when you say it like that. Or someone says, I like photography. Do you speak like this? Photography. You are Italian. Or I like photography. No, it's photography. That's the natural way of pronouncing this. Yes, but let's call it, Shayma, we have called it anti-penultimate. I think الطريقة هذه solves the problem. This way solves the problem. It will solve all your problems when it comes to stress assignment, in fact. Just follow it. It's very easy. Sing this syllable, divide it, and count from انتم باغي تعلموا غير ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. صافي. Okay? So here, geology, we have 4. Geology. Geology. Okay, so you have this. Again, you have ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. It's geology. It's not geology, no? And it's not geology. You see? Same thing here. القاعدة كتطبق على كل شيء. Electricity, it ends in Y. Let me sing it. Electricity. Electricity. 5. So you have هنايا city. 1 2 3 4 city 5. Electricity. Again, let me count. Ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. Electric. It's here. The one that we stress. Electricity. It's not electricity. That's French. All right. Diplomacy. Diplomacy. أربعة. Diplomacy. Diplomacy. Let me see. Normally, it's not diplomacy. It's not diplomacy. Right? See, diplomacy. That's diplomacy. That's Arabic. Okay. So diplomacy. So you have here ultimate, penultimate, and anti-penultimate. It's this plo that we stress. Diplomacy. Same thing. It's not I have a good grade in phonology. No, that's French. It's in phonology. Phonology. I'm sorry. It's this. Phonology. Where does stress fall? You have ultimate, penultimate, and it's here. It's no on the penultimate. Phonology. In the exam, I'll please, if you have a few days before this exam, try to invent words and you can send them to me for confirmation in the private message. There is no problem. But it's good to do some practice. It's really interesting. Okay, nice. So I hope that this is an easy way of. Sukaina says no. No for what, Sukaina? I don't know. You have, look at this. It starts with ik. Ik and x is just a plural, but it's not a plural here. But normally it was a plural. You see, this S is morphologically a plural, and semantically it's not a plural because politics is just siasa, it's just la politique. Okay. So you have politics, and then tics. So we have here ik. اسم محسوباش حيت initialement c'est du pluriel, mais c'est pas un pluriel sémantiquement, c'est un pluriel morphologique. It's a morphological plural. Okay. So the rule applies here because you have ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. So it's politics. We don't say politics, it's politics. Notice, please, that I can provide a similar word here, and this stress on po, it will be drawn to li. You see? Look at what happens. If I have a word like political. علاش؟ حيت عندي هذه فيها إك، هذه فيها إك. يعني بجوج بهم, it means in the two, stress has to fall on the penultimate syllable. Okay? No, it's now this one is on the penultimate. Political. Yeah, sorry. Because when you have this here, the ones that have political, can you give me words that end in ul? No, the ones that end in al. Political, physical. Ultimate, penultimate, yeah, physical, yeah, let me write it here. Physical, logical, thank you. Barak. So you add this to the rule, please. The words that end in ul are also words where the stress occurs on the anti-penultimate, anti-penultimate. Donc, politics, عندي هنايا ik. Donc, ultimate صح هذه. Donc, all of them are on the penultimate syllable. I was particularly interested in how, stress can shift from this po to this حيث كان syllable زايدة. Here we have an extra syllable. The difference between this word and this word is that we have added ul here. Ul is another syllable. But the rule says when you have ik here, stress falls on the anti-penultimate syllable. Which means in this word, where is the anti-penultimate syllable? It's po. But here po is not the anti-penultimate, it's outside. Because you have kil, haya, hal and then hal anti-penultimate. So po here in the first word is the anti-penultimate, but po here is not the anti-penultimate. Anti-penultimate هو هذا حيث عندي syllable زايدة. So stress falls on so this is the ultimate, this is the penultimate, this is the anti-penultimate. So you can say politics, but you cannot say political. No, you say political. You see, was stress. It has jumped from here to here because it was drawn by this suffix, which means that the rule works for anti-penultimate. So Shayma says, so did the British accent and the American accent make indifference exception? I don't think there is an exception when it comes to stress between the Americans and the British in these when it comes to these specific rules. Shayma, economic versus economical. Economic, because in both words, Mustafa, there is this ik, which means that there is no problem. Economic, economical, nomic, nomical. Nomical. So ik and ical here they are the same. I don't know whether our students here know the difference between economic, economical, and economics and economy. So we can explain that if there is a question about it. Okay, Saeed, is it like the loss of stress and yes, Saeed, very good, very good. That's true. That's true. Because here in politics you have stress here. قلناها stress falls here. That's why it's a paw. It's a real vowel. And this paw here loses stress because stress has traveled from here to li. It falls on li, not on o. The consequence is that this o becomes a poor vowel, which is a shwa. Now call it, so the shwa here, call it a poor vowel. A vowel that does not have stress or that has lost stress. Historic and historical are different meanings. Yeah, that's true, Si Mustafa Moshi. A historic event, but a historical monument. A historical having to do with history, and historic means important and a landmark event, for example, if we're talking about an event. Is that okay, my friends, here? And now we can move to other questions if there is room for those questions. I don't know whether our S1 students have benefited from this little lesson or not. So please tell me if it's fine or not. I don't know whether this is Mustafa Morshid says a lot. Yes, Mustafa, because you like the challenge. Shayba, I don't know if you are an S1 student and you have benefited from this. I'm very happy. By the way, towards the second semester, these lives will start again. So if you have any thing you would like me to explain, I need just 3 people to write on the same topic, a request on the same thing, and then I will do it. So when the word ends in a stress in anti-penultimate, so when the word ends by all stress, yeah, that's true. It's on the anti-penultimate. Very good. So I think life is easy now for these stress rules. You need to know how to sing. I'm sure you are good at this, because, everyone likes, music. So it's good to start singing just to yourself. It will relieve stress, for you before it relieves it from a vowel. All right. So you divide the syllables, the word, into how many syllables you have. Start from the last one, call it ultimate, penultimate, and then anti-penultimate, and life will be good. Okay. Shayma, I am an S1 student and I really benefit a lot. I'm a person who likes to study with energy. Thank you very much. مرحبا مرحبا شيماء. So I'm very happy you say these things. Thank you. I believe the students who attend this live session will ace. Inshallah, I wish them all the best. Now, if you had told me about these things before, I would have started, the live session on phonetics long ago. On my Facebook page, there are videos that I recorded in August on place of articulation, manner of articulation. You will just like it. And if I have, I am ready for a live session tomorrow. If I have someone, if I have messages there, we can talk about the different, the three ways of describing consonant, voice, manner, and place, or voice, place, manner, and then vowels in terms of height and roundness, and rounding, sorry, and also front, back, etc. We can talk about that along with their transcription. So if you need this, all that I would like to see are a couple of messages, 3 messages in my inbox. Okay. Politic, Asma, politic, you say that we stress the penultimate. Wait a minute. Wait. شكون هذا كيهضر؟ Asma, wait a minute. Asma, بعد politic does not exist. It's either politics or political. So politics, let's work with politics. Wait. You have politics. Politics. We have ultimate, penultimate, and anti-penultimate. Yeah, stress here is on anti-penultimate. Did I make a mistake in saying it's ultimate? No, it's on anti-penultimate. Politics. And also political is anti-penultimate. هذا هو لو بوين اللي كنت كنقوله. But maybe you have been confused. Look at this. The point I was making, who is talking here? Asma. The point I was making here is that you have a word here that where stress occurs on anti-penultimate, and the same word, when you add an extra syllable to it, because we have look at this, we have po, li, ti, and then kol. I have an extra syllable here. You have 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here you have 3. Here you have 4. Just to show to you that the rule applies perfectly here. So you say politics. You have ultimate, penultimate, anti-penultimate. This is what is stressed. But the anti-penultimate in this word does not correspond to po here in this word. Double anti-penultimate هنا هو لي. So the rule applies. While you say politics, here you say political. You see, this suffix has attracted, has drawn, has جبد لنا stress من هنا وحطوه هنا على L. The consequence is that this, I say this okay, this is written political, not political, okay? Because it is like confusing. I wonder how they would finish the project. In this sentence, is there any spec or C movement? Natalie, I read the word project and I thought that you were asking about phonetics. Okay, Natalie is she is reproducing the question asked by Bilal, I guess. Is Bilal still with us? I don't know whether he is here, but he will come back to watch this. So Nathalie Leblanc says this is a question asked by Bilal. Nathalie says, FTS, can you please answer his question? Yes, because it is like confusing. Okay, I wonder how they would finish the project. In this sentence, is there any spec or C movement? I wonder how they, yes, there is a movement here, yes. This movement is WH movement. WH movement of how, and you have a CP, a complementizer phrase. Let's see. I wonder how they would finish the project. So you have I, wonder, and then you have a CP. Okay, because here the CP here is the direct object of wonder. You wonder what, I wonder how, or I wonder whether. So you have here how, blah, 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 project, yeah, finish the project. Okay. This movement, it concerns just this CP here. Okay, it's not for the main clause here. Why? Because how they will finish the project, we have an answer is they finish the project angrily. Okay, so here the adverb phrase, because how is an adverb, is about the answer of how is the adverb. So the adverb is generated as an adjunct of finish. Okay, and because this how, you know, has plus WH, so it's close to WH in relative clauses rather than in a question, you see. But anyway, there is a how that moves from a place and it ends up in the specifier of the CP. That's all. Because here we don't have, this one here is a C with a minus WH. This is a C with plus WH. And these are typically types of WH movements we find in relative clauses. So it behaves much like a relative clause. You see? I wonder how they will finish. I wonder who was with you. I wonder who you invited. You see? Here it's a WH movement, but we don't have I2C movement and accompanying I2C movement because it's not a direct question. Okay? So there is no I2C movement because this is not a direct question. I2C or T2C movements characterize direct questions, yes, no questions. And it's not just yes, no question. It's when there is a WH movement that is direct, automatically, because you say, when did you travel? So you have two movements here. And this is an indirect because wonder has a minus WH. I wonder whether you will travel. I wonder whether I will travel. I wonder whether to travel. You see, the CP in all these cases, the C0 is marked minus WH. Okay, nice. So this is the idea. At least, but here you have the feature of plus WH automatically. So how here is an element that has moved somewhere and in here. I repeat, this how movement here behaves much like the situation where you have I like, for example, I like the book that you have read. So here the domain of WH movement in relative clauses in this case is the CP itself. It does not go beyond. The same situation obtains here. Okay, good. So let's just let's move on, please. Yeah, I think I have settled this with Natalie. Natalie, finish project. So I'm confusing. Is this sentence any spec or C movement? C movement, no. It doesn't have any C movement. There is no C movement. But there is a WH movement. It's inside the clause that comes after wonder. And anyway, this is unlikely to, because this behaves like if he is a student in syntax in my class, then we did not cover WH movement in relative clauses, nor did we cover operator movement. So no worries when it comes to that. Okay, nice. Mustafa Morshid, believe me, even doctors and professors will learn from the session. No, I don't think so. Cover the English phonemic inventory in your. Thank you very much. So it's just a good interaction with my students and the friends, my friends here. I have some professors here who keep following me as a way of encouraging this endeavor. So I hope they they continue to sustain this endeavor. But some of them who tell me, when we meet, for example, that I do a wonderful job. If I do a wonderful job, then help me do this wonderful job by sharing with your students. Okay, thank you so much. In any case, believe me. Okay, so Ahlam says, I'm so grateful, sir. If you could add another session, yes, inshallah, Ahlam, I will do that. انا اللي كنت مشارك داك لي ميساج اللي كيجيو في البرايفت I answer them كنمشي مع لا ماجوريتي you see so if you agree as a group maybe of 3 4 5 just send me and a message and we can talk about that. Yes, I hope you'll have. Yeah, I will for sure, Shayna. Yes. How can I transcribe correctly and accurately? Okay. You mean how can you describe correctly and accurately? شوف, I thought that you were talking about those words. I gave you this piece of advice, Si Mohammed, at the beginning. Please go and open the dictionary that you have at hand. Dictionary. Try to look at that front page first to see the correspondences, and you can open randomly, read a word randomly يعني عشوائيا. Okay, open and do this exercise. يعني try to transcribe the word yourself and check it against the other pronunciation. You hide the pronunciation because inside the dictionary, especially if you have Oxford, which I recommend highly, you can transcribe. You can transcribe you can transcribe the word yourself and hide the transcription so that you will not see it, and then correct. That's it. That's the thing. You do it. It will not take much time before you become an excellent user of the International Phonetic Alphabet. What about the words that have one syllable? Saxtro. If the word that has one syllable, that is to say, if it's a monosyllabic word, if it's a lexical item that is a normal category, like a content word, we have a difference between content words and function words. Let's take content words. شنو هي content words? هي adjectives, nouns, verbs that have a reference, that have a meaning, that have a meaning in the outside. For example, when I say talk, it refers to the activity of talking. When I say dog, it refers to the animal. When I say kind, it's a description of someone. Content words, because they tell us something. They add to the meaning. And the other category is called function words. Function means grammar words, words that do not have a meaning. They have just they give us just grammatical information. For example, you have a word like dog. It's one word. And by default, when you have a content word with one syllable, you stress it, of course. Dog, stress it. When you have a function word like the, like should, like well, because these give us grammatical information, always auxiliaries, and they are categories that give us grammar information, well and should, etc. These, yes, they are monosyllabic and they are stressed in some contexts. For example, when they are alone, can, like that. It's not can, it's can, should, etc. Or when they are at the end of the word, for example, in a question, like what's that? Let me say like preposition, for example, of. You see, or at. What are you looking at? At. But this, even if it's one syllable, so it's here because it's just a grammar. It's a grammar word. It's not. It does not reveal anything, in the outside word. It gives us directions about the place, for example, the position, whatever. It's a preposition. When it is inside the sentence, it's of. Sometimes, who are you proud of? Of. What are you looking at? Answer, I am proud of my brother. Proud of. So of, lishna, of. What are you looking at? I'm looking at you. It. It's not at. Voila, that's the thing. Okay. Yes. If we had a word, we don't know how to read it. How can I know the transcription? Yeah, here it's difficult. And just to tell you directly, it's difficult, but in exams, teachers rarely give a word that you can't read. Most of the words are words that are common and that you are supposed to know. Of course, we are not supposed to know everything, especially at the level of S1. So it's normal to make a mistake here or there, but you cannot not know all the words in an exercise. Okay? So that's the thing. Yes, here says, I hope for more long videos on inshallah. Yes, that's going to come up very soon. Just after these exams, after the exams are over, we will start the session on writing, reading comprehension, which I like so much, vocabulary, idiomatic expressions. We'll cover those things. All I need is just the interest of people. That's all. Shof, Yuki, dictionary, if you don't have a dictionary at home, I'm sorry, it's a mistake. Yuki, you are making a mistake. You are going the wrong way. You do need a dictionary at home. This is a message to our friends here. If you really want your, to finish your studies and to finish successfully, then you should not just, your objective should not just be S1, S2, or licence. No, you have to have these long-term objectives to do the master, doctorate, inshallah. But this depends on how you invest, how much you invest at this stage here, because there are things that you learn at S1, believe me, that will be helpful for you as professors at the university. I'm not exaggerating, I swear. There are things I learned in my baccalaureate years that came in handy when I needed them as a professor. So invest in your writing, invest in your vocabulary, invest in transcription, in pronunciation, in anything that concerns English, because your future is bound with the good use of English. Okay, so you are committing a crime against yourself as a student if you do not buy a dictionary. You really, really, really need to buy a dictionary. I recommend, with صراحة, those of you who have small ones, they are good sometimes, but that's not recommended. There is a big version. There are many. I grew up with Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary. It costs, I think, 130 dirhams, and it's a lifetime investment. It will be with you. It will be your companion, your real companion. Why? Because when you, by the way, it should not be Arabic or French or, I'm sorry. No, even if you find an Amazon English dictionary, don't buy it. You see? So how to use it? Why am I saying that you need a big paper-based English dictionary? Number one, there is this beautiful preface. How many of you read the preface? You see? My best moments whenever I find a book and قرأ له preface there. Why? Because the preface is the one that was written by a professional, and the English there is really, really, sophisticated. And from there I learned a lot. When you open a dictionary, you will find a word and its transcription. I am gaining something. So, à force de forger, on devient forgeron. Day in, day out, you become an excellent user of transcription. If you are keen on these things, you have a word and you have use number one, use number two, use number three. You are learning 3 uses of the word. And for each use, you have an example. Look at what you gain. And in Oxford, you have a bracket to tell you about the origin of the word. It's richness, isn't it? So you have this. And sometimes, and this happened to me, for example, when you have a word like needle. You don't know what a needle is, and you open your dictionary. Needle will lead you to know the word thread. You may know the word tailor. You know the word sew, etc. So a word can become a cluster of words, and you learn faster. Such a dictionary can also help because there is a part for it where you have all the English proverbs and sometimes their explanation, their measuring units. You have an appendix for, for other things. Sometimes you have an appendix for how to write excellent English. So please buy this, dictionary. It's not very expensive, but it's an investment. It's a lifetime investment. Be happy that because there are books that cost 1,000 dirham, but here this dictionary, no, it's 100 and something dirham. So buy it, please. Don't hesitate to buy it. It's a very interesting, it's a very interesting, investment that you can make, and it will live with you. It will help you a lot improve your English. Because when you are in S5 or S6, maybe because you will be struggling with linguistics, with text, with books, with ideas, not with language. So invest now. I don't mean that S5 and S6 cannot improve. No, they can. There's always room for improvement. But the earlier you start this journey, this process, this effort, the better you become later on in your life. Take it from me. This is out of my proper experience and the experience of so many people I know. Okay. Nice. If we don't have the dictionary, what can I do? That's an answer to Yuki's question. Yuki, please accept my answer to your question. I have answered you perhaps in a little somehow harsh way, but that's the way this thing should be done. Okay. Okay, Mustafa, IPA style is also important. Yes, but let them, see, Mustafa, let's not forget that we're talking to mostly S1. So this is the advice that is directed to S1 students who are motivated and who would really love to continue their studies, but they don't know how. My friends here, let me give you this other brotherly advice, that those of you who get influenced by films, by the American accent, this is very beautiful. You see, I wish I could speak like an American or a British. And, speaking, some of the students I saw can imitate native speakers also in their gestures. Very nice. I'm not saying this is not. But does this guarantee that you become a successful, user of academic English? The answer is no, not at all. So many students are excellent at spoken, when they speak, when they discuss orally, but when you give them a paragraph to write, you see catastrophes being produced. So please understand that there is a demarcation line between the two types of English, and it depends on your purpose. Because if your objective is to speak like a native speaker, why do you come to the university, go to a center and watch your videos? And it will be like, but we are not, at university, they are not training you to speak like a native speaker. Although it's good, but, there are better objectives, because the Americans themselves, when they have this diploma that corresponds to the baccalaureate and they want to go to university, they have to take a test to see if they are able to write informal English or not, even if they are native speakers. You see? So don't make this mistake of saying, well, هاد الاساتذه باقيين قدامين في عقلهم، راه باقي كيقولوا لنا كما والناس فين وصلوا، الناس كيقولوا got to go, wanna go, cause. ايش من because? There are people who say that. They write cause like that. And they think that they are sophisticated. They are not sophisticated at all. Because, there is a difference. Okay? So please, one excellent way of solving this problem is to use the dictionary. From the writing that I saw here, some of our friends may have some problems in their English, but it's not the end of the world. But please work on your written English, work on sentence structure, because this will be with you for as long as you are alive with English. Even in your doctorate, you will need some of the basic things that you see in S1 or S2. Okay, so thank you. I don't know who asked that weird name, who asked me the question. Yuki. Yuki. So that's an extension of a discussion with Yuki. Saeed says, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you, Saeed. Thank you very much. I still remember when I contacted you regarding spiritization in the Saudi dialect, I provided you with some examples since I thought that process happened only. I don't remember because I answered a lot of questions, Saeed. I really forgot this. But I don't know whether my answer was what you are looking for. But thank you very much for recognizing this. Thank you. How can we find syllables when we have clusters, please? شوف فاطمة الزهراء. Clusters do not matter. If you are a good singer, clusters do not matter. Just try to sing, because the cluster, sometimes, cluster, if you're talking about consonant, 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 some consonant will go here, some consonant will go to the other syllable, depending on the depending on whether you sing it well or not. Just try to sing it and type on the tap on the table, or clap, or just clap just in your mind. You will find the problem despite the existence of clusters. Clusters, yes, they matter in syllable structure, but not at this level. Maybe you will come S5 or master, or you'll talk about onset, nucleus, coda, clusters, phonotactics, and so forth. That's not one thing after another. Start with what is straightforward. You may need that for your exams. In your exams, you may not need to talk about clusters. Just do it this way by tapping, and the clusters will adjust themselves by themselves. Yakavat Zara, say yes if you think I have answered your question. Followed, I don't know what you're talking about here. Followed by with a high front vowel. Okay. So I think I talked about that rule. Although I don't exactly remember, I talked, about this Saudi dialect, but I don't know whether I talked about spiralization or something else. Okay, Saeed. Okay, thank you. Sana Ait al-Qadi. When we have clusters, how can we find syllables? The ear, my friend, the ear. Don't. What is written, just forget about it. Use the ear and sing the word. Safi. There is no simpler thing than this. Life is easy. Why should we complicate it? Cluster. What do you mean cluster? Okay, look at this. You have this. كاين شي cluster قد هذا. Sing it. How many syllables do I have here? Very easy. You are the strongest. Don't think of clusters or anything. Sing it and you will find the syllable. Hi. شكون سولني هنايا؟ Sana, if you think I have answered your question, say thank you, Dimma. Okay. Shaima, I have a pocket Oxford. That's good. Shaima, start with that for learning about the symbols, because there is a page where you have the symbols. But please, Shaima, starting from S2, think of buying a big dictionary, because it's a treasure and you will thank me for it and you will remember me for it. Please buy it and use it. Or get away from these online dictionaries. Use the paper-based dictionary and you will see the miracle. Your English will go up in a remarkable way. Believe me, I'm not marketing because I don't sell anything, let alone sell dictionaries. Okay, but this is out of my proper experience. Even in the other languages that I try to learn, when I have a paper-based dictionary, it's better than have an online dictionary, honestly. Mustafa, etymology, yes, that's the origin of words. Thank you. I'm a bit lost. I don't know. Fatima, how can I know the syllable division of a word when we have clusters? I have answered this. Fatima Zahra. Safi Salina. Okay, Mustafa, yes, I agree that the goal of English studies is to master academic writing. As for what English is, we believe they are good when it comes to reception. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Mustafa. But anyway, we have to distinguish between reality and the theoretical debate. It's good to discuss this, the emancipation of English, so to speak, and the shattering of the hegemony of one English dominating the whole sphere. So I agree with you, but this is at the level of the research, at the level of theoretical level, at the level of theories. That's good. The contribution to debates, this is really nice. But for on that assumption, because we have a curriculum and we have guidelines and we have objectives that are set by institutions at the international level. For example, academically, she's defined as having these characteristics, but not the other characteristics. So to unify the code. So that, and this applies to the Americans themselves, to the British themselves. When they want to go to university, as I told you, they have to conform to one code despite their dialects. And okay, dramatic. Okay, بلاتي Fatima Zahra is giving us a very good example here. For the word dramatic, is it dramatic or dramatic? لا فاطمة الزهراء لا. Sing it وصافي علاش؟ Sing it slowly. Slowly يعني كنقول لك ما تزربيش. Okay? This is dramatic. Tick. It's not this is dramatic. إك أنا كنزيد داك الهمزة غير علاش غنزيدها؟ اللهم ندير داك تيك. This is dramatic. You put some silence between syllables and you will see. This is dramatic. So it's dramatic. Okay. Good. Are there any other questions before we... almost 3 hours. غنزيد معكم 3 minutes. Okay. When the 3 hours are over, I'll have to go and relax. So we need one question, one more, and then no more. For Natalie's question, I will, because I received from a question from Natalie, in fact, a number of questions. I'd rather answer them later because I'm a bit tired anyway, and we need to bring this to a close. 3 hours is already... So I want to learn, British accent, whatever accent you want to learn, be exposed to it. For example, on TV, you can watch channels, British news, when the people read the news bulletin. That's a very nice way. You can watch debates in British English. This is very nice. And you will learn it, by the way. Since you have this intention, you will learn it. Make sure. Or films or whatever. Just be exposed and you will learn things just by your ear. Okay. Zaxtro, thank you, teacher. Thank you very much, Zaxtro. I'm very happy you have joined us. No question, but thanks a lot, sir. Thank you, Oppo. Thank you. Si Mustafa, I used to see myself as a functional linguist, but after joining your sessions, I will become a generative linguist as well. Si Mustafa, you are encyclopedic, and I'm sure you will achieve that goal of being, someone who masters and who is accomplished at a number of topics. This is really nice, and this is what a good intellectual is. Okay, so it's not a good idea because if you just stick to what you have in your thesis, when you are asked to teach, you will be hiding behind slides, and we'll just use slides and. Anyway. Okay, so it's a good idea to have an eye on different ways of explaining, maybe even the way I explain. Perhaps I have my own way. I don't know. Some students like it. Maybe other students don't know it. I really don't know. But this is something that we learn from each other. These are things that we learn. We are not born like that. It's thanks to the effort and to the fact that when you have a doctorate, for example, you become a teacher. Don't say, I am there, Safi, and I am I don't know, in the seventh sky, and nobody should teach me anything. No. So it's there where you need to learn. We are always learning. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. For professional development, do you recommend ebooks because they are easier to get, or having hard copy books? Now, for professional, you can use ebooks because anyway, it's hard. They are hard and they are expensive. So for this, no. For if you have, and I'm talking more about the language learning, activity. I'm talking about language learning activity. Grammar needs to be done by pen, just recognition. Dictionary has to be paper-based. Consider me old-fashioned, consider me whatever, but I think there is a difference. I think there is a big difference between the two. Okay, I think the number of students is getting lower, so which means that they are perhaps tired. It's already midnight. Thank you very much. I hope there will be another session tomorrow if you send me a message. أنا ما علي إلا نقرأ المساجات في لاباج فيسبوك. غنقرا لي ميساج وغنجاوب ما عنديش مشكل. So I am waiting for your messages. Okay. Nunus is with us. Thank you for joining. I didn't know because I see that we have less weird names now that you have shown up. Thank you. Shayma, my sister told me, don't learn to get diploma, learn to be the best. And I fully agree with her about your major. I'm trying. I wish. Okay. So I learn to be the best to know anything. Ask you about in your major. Yes. Yeah. Please do that, Shayna. This is a very good start, and your sister has given you a good golden piece of advice. Okay, my dear friends. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And if there is a need for a session tomorrow, I am available. Just type in, on the Facebook page, and I will respond. Okay, have a good time, everyone. Barakallahu fik. Thank you so much, Simorshi. Despite these coughs that I have, these occasional coughs. Well, thank you very much. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you.